It all started in an online study group, a place you'd least expect to find love. Adeel, a bright university student from Pakistan, logged on one day, and there she was, Maya, a cheerful, kind girl from London. What began as simple questions about assignments soon blossomed into something more. Their casual chats turned into late-night conversations, weaving a tapestry of dreams, fears, and hopes that spanned thousands of miles. They had never met, never shared the same physical space, but their connection was deeper than most. Maya would often laugh, her voice a melody through his speakers. "Isn't it strange? I feel like I've known you my whole life." Adeel would smile back at his screen, his heart full, replying, "Maybe some hearts are meant to find each other, no matter the distance." Months melted away. Text messages evolved into phone calls, and phone calls into video chats that lasted for hours. They would share their days, their meals, their worlds. Sometimes, they'd just sit in comfortable silence, content with the simple act of listening to each other breathe, a quiet reassurance that they weren't alone. The screen was their window, their bridge, their everything. But a love built across continents is a fragile thing. The distance, once a mere number, began to feel like an insurmountable wall. When Maya cried, overwhelmed by the ache of missing him, Adeel could only offer words of comfort, his voice a ghost-like embrace. When Adeel felt the weight of the world on his shoulders, Maya would send him little voice notes, her words a beacon of hope. "I'm so proud of you. Don't you dare give up." They clung to a shared dream, the day they would finally meet, not through a pixelated screen but in person. They imagined it vividly, standing side by side, his hand in hers, looking into each other's eyes and finally saying, "We made it." It was the promise that fueled them, the hope that kept their love alive against all odds. But life, as it so often does, had other plans. The rhythm of their lives began to fall out of sync. Maya poured herself into her budding career in London, her days filled with deadlines and meetings. Adeel, back in Pakistan, found himself shouldering more and more responsibilities at home. The time zones, once a playful challenge, became formidable barriers. Good morning messages were met with goodnight replies. Missed calls started to accumulate, each one a silent crack in their carefully constructed world. The vibrant hours-long conversations dwindled into sporadic check-ins, then faded into a heavy, unspoken silence. Still, even in the quiet, the connection lingered. When the loneliness crept in, they'd both find themselves scrolling through old messages, rereading the words that started it all, trying to recapture the magic. Then, one day, after weeks of no contact, a message from Maya appeared on Adeel's screen. It was short, but each word carried the weight of 1,000 unspoken goodbyes. "I'll always care for you," she wrote, "but we can't keep waiting for something that may never happen." Adeel read it once, then again and again. The words were a clean, sharp cut to his heart. He didn't reply. What could he say? How do you argue with the undeniable truth? How do you fight a battle against distance and time when life itself is pulling you in opposite directions? The dream they had built together seemed to dissolve into thin air. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. They began the slow, painful process of moving on, or at least, they tried to rebuild new lives, met new people, and created new routines. But the ghost of their love remained. Late at night, in the quiet moments of solitude, they would find themselves typing each other's names into a search bar just to see a picture, to know that the other was okay, that they were living and breathing in a world that no longer included them. Years passed. Maya found herself standing on a bridge in London, the city lights twinkling below like a sea of scattered stars. Her thoughts drifted across the globe to Adeel, to his gentle words, his unwavering support, his deep and profound love. She wondered where he was, what he was doing, if he ever thought of her. And in another corner of the world, Adeel stood under a blanket of stars, the same stars that shone over London. He looked up at the vast, dark expanse and whispered her name into the night. "I hope you're happy, Maya." Their story is a poignant reminder that not all love is destined for a fairy tale ending. Some love stories don't end with a wedding or a promise of forever. Some are meant to be chapters, not the entire book. They exist in the quiet spaces of the heart, living on as beautiful, bittersweet memories, a love that was real and deep and true, even if it was only for a season. A love that proves that sometimes the most profound connections are the ones that live on, quietly, beautifully, and eternally, in the soul. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more stories that explore the many facets of life and love. Until next time.